Welcome to Traveling Kangaroo. A century of golden dreams, the West Coast's meteoric rise from 1940 to 2020. This journey is a tale of transformation, ambition, and relentless pursuit of the American dream. The West Coast, that magical land of Hollywood dreams and Silicon Valley innovation, wasn't always so glamorous. It was a region waiting to be discovered, a canvas for future greatness. Back in 1940, it was a different story. The population was smaller. Life moved at a slower pace. The hustle and bustle we associate with the West Coast today was but a distant dream. But things were about to change. World War II brought a surge of industry to the region. Shipbuilding boomed, aircraft manufacturing soared. The war effort turned the West Coast into an industrial powerhouse. People flocked to the West Coast for jobs and a chance at a better life. The promise of employment and prosperity drew thousands to this burgeoning region. After the war, the growth continued. The mild climate and beautiful scenery attracted even more people. The West Coast became a beacon of hope and opportunity. California in particular became synonymous with the California dream. The idea that anyone could achieve success and happiness in this sun-soaked paradise took hold. People envisioned a life of sunshine, beaches, and endless possibilities. The allure of the West Coast was irresistible, and for many, that dream became a reality. The post-war boom brought prosperity and growth to the region. New industries emerged, from technology to entertainment. The West Coast became a hub of innovation and creativity. The seeds of the tech revolution were planted, and Hollywood's influence grew. Cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle exploded in size and importance. These urban centers became the beating heart of the West Coast. This period of rapid growth wasn't without its challenges. Traffic congestion increased. The infrastructure struggled to keep up with the booming population. Housing prices began to rise. The cost of living started to climb, making it harder for some to achieve their dreams. But the allure of the West Coast remained strong. The promise of a better life continued to draw people in. People were willing to overlook the downsides for a chance to be part of something special. The West Coast represented opportunity and a fresh start. The West Coast represented the future, a place where anything seemed possible. The tech industry began to flourish, and futuristic architecture dotted the landscape. It was a magnet for dreamers, entrepreneurs, and anyone seeking a fresh start. Silicon Valley became the epicenter of technological innovation. From the post-war boom to the dawn of the 21st century, the West Coast's population continued to swell. Suburban expansion was rampant, and new communities sprang up. Each decade brought new waves of people seeking their own piece of the California dream, or the promise of the Pacific Northwest. The region's appeal was undeniable. This growth transformed the region, shaping its culture, economy, and environment. The West Coast became a melting pot of ideas and cultures. But as we entered the 2020s, the cracks in the facade began to show, and the future of the West Coast seemed less certain than ever before. Environmental challenges and economic disparities cast a shadow over the once bright promise of the region. So, what exactly drew so many people to the West Coast in the first place? Was it the promise of a new beginning, or perhaps the allure of a different lifestyle? Well, for starters, there's the weather. The West Coast is renowned for its beautiful, sunny days and mild climate. While other parts of the country were buried in snow or sweltering in humidity, the West Coast boasted year-round sunshine and mild temperatures. This made it an ideal place for those looking to escape harsh winters or oppressive summer heat. Who wouldn't want to trade in their snow boots for flip-flops and their winter coats for a light jacket? The appeal of a more relaxed outdoor lifestyle was undeniable, but the weather was just one piece of the puzzle. The West Coast offered so much more than just a pleasant climate. The West Coast also offered a sense of opportunity that was hard to find elsewhere. It was a land where dreams could be realized and ambitions could be pursued. After World War II, industries like aerospace, technology, and entertainment took root and flourished in the region. These burgeoning industries created a wealth of jobs and attracted people from all over the country. This created a wealth of jobs and attracted ambitious individuals from all walks of life. The promise of a better future was a powerful draw. Whether you were a brilliant engineer, a talented artist, or a hardworking entrepreneur, the West Coast seemed to offer a place where you could make your mark on the world. It was a place where innovation and creativity thrived. Beyond the economic prospects, the West Coast also held a certain cultural cachet. It was a melting pot of ideas, cultures, and lifestyles. California, in particular, became synonymous with a laid-back lifestyle, a focus on health and wellness, and a spirit of innovation and creativity. The state's unique culture attracted those who sought a different way of living. The region was home to Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and a thriving arts and culture scene. These iconic places symbolized the dreams and aspirations of many. This vibrant and dynamic environment attracted people who were looking for more than just a job. They were seeking a place where they could express themselves, connect with like-minded individuals, and be part of something exciting and new. The sense of community and belonging was a significant factor. The allure of the West Coast was a potent mix of factors: a desirable climate, abundant job opportunities, and a unique cultural identity that promised a better life. It was a place where dreams could be pursued and achieved. It's no wonder that for decades people packed their bags and headed west, seeking their own piece of the dream. The promise of a new beginning was too enticing to resist. However, as the 21st century progressed, the challenges of living in this increasingly crowded and expensive paradise became impossible to ignore. The dream, while still alive, came with its own set of modern-day challenges. The year 2020 marked a turning point for the West Coast. After decades of seemingly unstoppable growth, the region experienced something unprecedented: a population decline. For the first time in recent history, more people were leaving California, Oregon, and Washington than were moving in. This trend, while surprising to some, had been brewing for years. The very factors that had once made the West Coast so attractive were now pushing people away. The cost of living, particularly housing, had skyrocketed in major West Coast cities. In places like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Seattle, finding an affordable place to live had become nearly impossible. The median home price in San Francisco soared to over $1.7 million, while in Los Angeles, it topped $800,000. These astronomical prices forced many residents, especially young families and those just starting out, to look elsewhere for affordable housing options. But it wasn't just housing. The overall cost of living on the West Coast, from groceries to transportation, had become significantly higher than in other parts of the country. This made it increasingly difficult for people to make ends meet, even those with decent-paying jobs. The rising cost of living, coupled with stagnant wages for many, meant that the West Coast dream was slipping out of reach for a growing segment of the population. The COVID-19 pandemic also played a significant role in accelerating this exodus. The pandemic forced many companies to adopt remote work policies, freeing employees from the need to live near their offices. This newfound flexibility, combined with the already high cost of living on the West Coast, led many people to reconsider their living arrangements. Why pay exorbitant rents or mortgage payments when you could have a better quality of life for less money elsewhere? This confluence of factors, soaring housing costs, a high overall cost of living, and the rise of remote work, led to a mass exodus from the West Coast. People packed their bags and headed for more affordable pastures, seeking a better balance between their income and expenses. This shift marked a significant turning point for the region, raising questions about its future and the sustainability of its current economic model. The tech industry, which had been a major driver of the West Coast's economic boom, also saw changes. Many tech workers, no longer tied to expensive urban centers, opted to move to more affordable areas. This migration has led to a revitalization of suburban and rural areas, bringing new opportunities and challenges to these communities. Meanwhile, urban centers are grappling with the economic impact of this population shift, as businesses and services that relied on a dense population face new realities. The Great West Coast departure is a complex phenomenon, driven by a multitude of factors, and its long-term effects are still unfolding. The COVID-19 pandemic didn't just impact the economy, it fundamentally reshaped the way we live, work, and interact with our surroundings. For many people, the pandemic served as a catalyst for reassessing their priorities and making significant life changes, both big and small. This was especially true for residents of the West Coast, where the pandemic's impact on daily life was particularly pronounced and felt deeply. Lockdowns and social distancing measures made life in densely populated West Coast cities less appealing and more challenging. The closure of restaurants, bars, and cultural venues diminished the vibrancy that had once drawn people to these bustling urban centers. Many people, accustomed to the West Coast's outdoor lifestyle, felt stifled by the restrictions and longed for more space and freedom to move. At the same time, the rise of remote work provided an unprecedented opportunity for people to decouple their work from their physical location, offering new flexibility. No longer tethered to their offices, many West Coast residents realized they could work from anywhere with a decent internet connection, opening up new possibilities. This newfound flexibility opened up a world of possibilities, allowing people to relocate to more affordable areas without sacrificing their livelihoods or careers. The pandemic also led to a surge in people seeking a different pace of life, away from the hustle and bustle. The stress and uncertainty of the pandemic caused many to reevaluate their priorities, with a renewed focus on family, community, and overall well-being. This led some to seek out smaller towns and cities, where they could escape the hustle and bustle of urban life and enjoy a closer connection to nature and a stronger sense of community. The COVID-19 pandemic, while a challenging and tragic event, inadvertently accelerated trends that were already underway on the West Coast, changing the landscape. It pushed people to reconsider their priorities, embrace remote work opportunities, and seek out a more balanced and affordable lifestyle. These shifts have had a profound impact on the region's demographics, economy, and future prospects, shaping a new reality. Thanks for watching Traveling Kangaroo.